A day after Donald Trump kicked up a storm with his racist remarks, it is raining criticism, and not just domestic opponents. Condemnation has been pouring in from across the world. As is usually the case, the controversy was triggered after the president used his favorite weapon, tweets. On target this time were 4 American congresswomen of color. Trump had some unwarranted advice for them, saying that the women, quote-unquote, originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe. He suggested that they go back home. 3 of these 4 women were born in the U.S. One was born in Somalia, but she came to the United States as a child. All 4 of them are citizens of America as much as Donald Trump is. His tweets have been labeled xenophobic, appalling, and crass. The 4 lawmakers, popularly known as a squad, have hit back. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley and Rashida Tlaib held a joint press conference lashing out at the president.
I encourage the American people and all of us in this room and beyond to not take the bait. This is a disruptive distraction from the issues of care, concern, and consequence to the American people.
It's launching a blatantly racist attack on 4 duly elected members of the United States of House of Representatives, all of whom are women of color. This is the agenda of white nationalists. Whether it is happening in chat rooms or it's happening on national TV, and now it's reached the White House garden.
Sadly, this is not the first, nor will it be the last time we hear disgusting, bigoted language from the president. We know this is who he is, and we know that he and his administration are constantly engaged in actions that harm residents and American people in our country.
And so the first note that I want to tell children across this country is that no matter what the president says, this country belongs to you. And it belongs to everyone. And today, that very notion was challenged.
But Trump maintains that he did no wrong. He said that those who do not love America are free to leave. He continued with his tirade today, accusing the women of, quote-unquote, saying filthy and hate-laced things. And that's not all. Trump says, and listen to this, Trump says there isn't a single racist bone in his body.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. And that's what I say all the time. That's what I said in a tweet, which I guess some people think is controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way. A lot of people love it. But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Leave. And you know what? I'm sure that there'll be many people that won't miss them. But they have to love our country. They're Congress people. And I never used any names.
New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern was among the first ones to slam Trump's comments. During an interaction with Radio New Zealand, she said, and I'm quoting, "Usually I do not get into other people's politics, but it will be clear to most people that I completely and utterly disagree with Trump. We take the view that our parliament should be a representative place. It should look and feel like New Zealand. It should have a range of different cultures and ethnicities." British Prime Minister Theresa May also released a statement calling the language completely unacceptable. The 2 men competing to replace Theresa May also echoed her views. UK Prime Ministerial hopefuls Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson, during their last televised leadership debate, said that they disagreed with the comments, but interestingly and more importantly, both of them stopped short of terming these comments as racist.
Between the UK, I've said what I said about the relations between the UK and the US are incredibly important, but if you're the leader of a great multiracial, multicultural society, you simply cannot use that kind of language about sending people back to where they came from. I mean, that went out decades and decades ago, and thank heavens for that. So it's totally unacceptable. I agree with the Prime Minister.
Look, I'm Foreign Secretary. This is the President of the country which happens to be our closest ally. And so it is not going to help the situation to use that kind of language about the President of the United States. I can understand how many people in this country would want politicians like me to use those words and would feel that sentiment. But I will make absolutely clear, I hope I have made absolutely clear, how totally offensive it is to me that people are still saying that kind of thing.
Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau did not mince words while slamming Trump.
I think Canadians and indeed people around the world know exactly what I think about those particular comments. That is not how we do things in Canada. A Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian, and the diversity of our country is actually one of our greatest strengths and a source of tremendous resilience and pride for Canadians, and we will continue to defend that.
Trump's racist rant continues, though, and this controversy is not dying down anytime soon. He's using language that is not presidential, but definitely carries the Trump trademark. The rant has a political objective, too. He claims his supporters love him for saying what he did. He may not be wrong there. One thing is clear. As the 2020 presidential race heats up, this is a sign of things to come. And talking about the future or the potential future...